Yep. Yeah. So today we are discussing about S3. S3 means, guys, S3. S3 is nothing but simple, secure storage. S3 is nothing but simple. Yeah, mat. Simple, secure storage. So S3 is nothing but a simple, secure storage. One second, guys. Yeah, S3 is nothing but a simple, secure storage. So why we are using S3? So for example, so in our OneDrive, Google Drive, you guys know, right? OneDrive, Google Drives, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is the one, for example, a OneDrive, Google Drive, where you are storing your files, something like your files are direct
Cloud.
cloud. So in the something like a Google Cloud or something like a Google Drive or a OneDrive or whatever it may be, right? The same way, so S3 also the same way, the same services like as a OneDrive, Google Drive, same services. But here everything will be stored in the object. It's treating as a object. So what is that? Objects. Objects. So if you are copying a file, or if you are copying a directory, anything will be a object. It's treating as a object. It's S3 is like as a S3 is like as a Google Drive, OneDrive, the same way. So for example, in our local system, in our local something like in our laptop. So in our laptop, so in our laptop, if you are copying a one file, uh, if you are something like if you are copying a file from one location to something like if you're modifying if you're copying or modifying one file, something like so something like this is a Hari file. So this is the file name is Hari. The same file, the same file, this file also named as a Hari. So if you are copying the same file to the your Linux machine or your machine. So either Windows or Linux, what it's showing, the file name is already exist. You want me to replace it, right? If already Hari file is there, if you are copying the same name, the objects are different and the content is different, but the file name is same. The content of the both file is different, but the file name is same. So if you are trying to copy Hari to something like from here Hari to Hari, so what it's showing, what the message it's showing, something like the Hari file already exists. If you want to replace it, it will replace it, right? The concept of the concept in the yes, right? But in the storage S3, if you are copying the same file, if you're copying the file name, same, something like this is Hari. So this is, sorry, this is Hari. The file name is Hari. So this is also something like Hari. Here something like ABC is there. Here something like different. BCD is there. So the file name is same, but the file name is same, but the content is different. So if you already copied one object, and you are trying to copy the another object with the same name, So is it asking it's something like you want to replace it or not? No, it will not asking replace it. So it will copy the same name. It will copy the same name. What is the difference? Why? So here we have a versioning concept is there. What is that? Versioning concept. In that versioning concept, so when you copy a object when you copy the object is nothing but anything. So S3 is treating as a object everything. So in the Hari, so something like here, so if you enable the versioning concept, if you enable the versioning concept, so if you enable the versioning concept, so it will copy the both the files, but the version ID is different. The ID is version ID. So it will create a ID for every object. It will create a ID for every object. The IDs are different. The IDs are different. So this is the concept of versioning. Guys, you understand? It will keep the same file name, but the ID is different. So when we copy the file from file to the S3 bucket, so it will create a ID of that Hari file, the same file. So if you upload the same file Hari file, so it will create another ID for that, a new Hari file. So if you enable the versioning concept, so it will access. It will access. Guys, now you understand? Guys, now you understand or not?
Yes, you understand.
Okay. Yeah, this is our versioning concept. The next one is a website. What is that? A website. Static website. What is that? A static website also. A static website. Guys, what is website?
Website.
What is website? So Facebook is a website. WhatsApp is a website. So anything you are searching from the Google, it is a website, right?
Yes.
What is the difference between static and dynamic websites?
What was the question?
Sorry?
What was the question? I didn't get the question.
So what is the difference between a static website and a dynamic website?
One changes, one doesn't.
Yeah, does anyone know something like what is a static website and what is a dynamic website?
Well, static is like the content doesn't change, the same.
Very good, very good. It's
And
dynamic.
just
Yeah.
the opposite.
Yes. So static means the content of the file doesn't change. Something like there is no database. Something like there is no sign up button. There is no sign in. There is no database is involved on that site. So there is no database. Only application sites are created and keep it on the website. So it doesn't change anything. So for example, a university or a colleges websites, for example, that website doesn't change anything and doesn't want to sign up onto that college and everything. So the static website is the pages are created but doesn't change the pages. Something like a sign up button. There is no database involved on that application. That is nothing but a static application. So dynamic applications is nothing but the database will be involved on that sites. For example, if you want to sign up your account, something like need to give the all the details, something like you first name, last name, something like the username, password, everything. It will be stored under the database. The same way you are uploading the files, downloading the files, or uploading the videos. For example, Facebook or WhatsApp. So those are the dynamic website. A static website. A static website also launching on the S3 bucket. Launching on the S3 bucket. This is the one concept. So one is versioning, another one is static website. The another one is a replication. So yeah, so what is the replication? For example, you created a S3 bucket in the something like a North Virginia region. Something it crashed. So where we can retrieve this data. So that's the reason we need a replication. Replication means something like from something like US East 1 to something like AP South 1. So you are copying data. So we are copying data to US East 1, something like North Virginia. It automatically copy the data to the AP Southeast 1. So AP Southeast 1. So if something goes wrong on the North Virginia region, so it will retrieve from the AP South. Now you guys understand, right? What is the replication? The same data, whatever the data you are copying into the North Virginia region, it automatically copy to AP Southeast. If something goes wrong, the Southeast, something like US East North Virginia, so we will retrieve the data from AP Southeast. Got it right, guys? This is the version. And then so the concept of storage. This is the storage, right? Storage. So storage is nothing but a hard disk. Something like storage is nothing but a hard disk. So hard disk. So how many types of hard disks are there? How many types of hard disks are there? Something like so you are storing your data. Something like you are storing your data, but you want so how much? So how much time you are frequently accessing your data? How much time you are frequently accessing your data? For example, your data is there, so you are accessing something like so monthly twice, or something like a yearly once, or something like so we don't want, so something like we want to retrieve the data from something like a 5 years, year 5 years, say one time, or something like 2 years one time. So you are accessing, so that time you don't want to use the high IOPS storage. So the storage, something like a standard, GP, standard, glacier, three types of storage types are available. So glacier is the very cheapest one. So because of we don't want to retrieve the data every something like every time. So something like even 5 years. So something like a one time for 5 years. So something like you can use a glacier, cheapest one. We don't want to the cost optimization here. The cost optimization purpose. The cost optimization purpose we are using something like a types of storage. So this is the one type of concept, something like a life cycle a management. So other one is a security, versioning, something like a replication. So versioning, replication, static website. Guys, tell me. So replication, versioning, replication, static website, a life cycle. Life cycle management. So life cycle management. So these are the concept of objects, versioning, replication, static website, cost optimization. So these are all are the features of the S3 bucket. These all are the features of the S3 bucket. Guys, now you understand? Guys,
Yes.
yes, right? Yeah. Now we are trying to launch. You guys know Ansible?
No.
Yeah. You guys know Terraform?
Yes.
Yeah. So Terraform is a which tool? IAC tool. Infra as a code.
IAC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Infra as a code
Cool.
tool. Something like, for example, what is that? What is the service? What is the
S3.
service? S3. So what are the main concept in the S3? Objects, versioning, replication,
And
life cycle,
static.
static website. You understand, right, guys? Yeah. So the service is Amazon S3. S3. So Amazon S3 storage and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere. So S3 means Amazon S3 store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere. The benefits and features: data performance and durability, security, compliance and auditing, granular data control, flexible storage options. These are the benefits and features. Use cases: backup and restore. So we can use the backup and restore and disaster recovery, archiving purpose, data lakes and big data analytics, cloud native application data, hybrid cloud storage. So those are the use cases. Case studies. So Geographica, something like NASCAR, Nielsen. So these are the related services. Case studies, something like a backup or storage. So build scalable, durable, and secure backup, restore solution to augment or replace existing on-premises capabilities with S3 and other AWS services such as Amazon S3 Glacier. Yeah. So Amazon S3 Glacier is the cheapest cost. So Elastic File System, EFS. So Elastic File System, Amazon Elastic Block Storage. So these all are involved in the S3 bucket, right? So buckets, how to create a S3 bucket. S3 buckets are unique. So is S3 buckets are global and unique. You see, it is showing a global. It is showing a global. If you create a S3 bucket, you can retrieve. So this is the global. This is the global service. I already told you, right, guys, in the initial of AWS, a global services, a specific region services. So EC2 is a which service? A global service or a specific region services?
Global.
No, specific region, something like so region based. So S3 is
Okay.
is
Same as ACD.
so IAM is a global or is global or a specific to region.
Region.
No, IAM also a global because of IAM. So IAM is So identity access management, something like a user management in the AWS, something like a Linux. So the permissions of the console, something like if you want so something like administrators are there, something like developers are there, something like DevOps people are there, something like database people are there, something like QA people are there. So what are the level of extent, what are the level of access they will give? Something like a developer doesn't want administrative access, right? So that is the IAM, that is the global. IAM also global, S3 also global. Okay, and unique queue, the name will be unique queue, right? Yeah. So what is that? Create a bucket. It is also a scalable. It is a scalable. Something like we can copy. Something like, for example, if you know something like in our application logs, for example, application logs. So application logs are copying every day to the S3, something like every day 5 GB. So you are paying only for 5 GB, something like a tomorrow. So 10 GB. You are paying only for 10 GB, something like a 15 GB. So something like the bucket will be a scalable, something like it will be increasing, something like a 5 TB, something like 5 TB, 5 TB data you copied. You can copy whatever you want, a 5 TB, 10 TB, 2 TB, 20 TB, up to pegabytes. You can scale up. You don't want to do the LVM, logical volume manager. You don't want to do the extending the volumes, or so it automatically scale up when you have a exits, when you have a copying the data. The concept of a scaling, it automatically scaling the storage. We don't want to specify something like I want a 500 GB, I want a 1500 GB. So don't want to specify, don't want it automatically scale up. It automatically scale up. So what is the name, or what is the service? Amazon S3, simple secure storage service. So what is how to create a S3 bucket? My bucket name, tell me guys, bucket name, my US class. So where I want to create it? So US East North Virginia region. Choose the bucket, copy settings from the exit bucket. So this is the new bucket. So ACLs will be a disabled. ACLs means access control list. So something like a permissions. So block all public access. Something like block public access will be enabled. So yeah, I acknowledge that the current, so something like, I will tell you one thing here. So here, object having their own permissions, and a bucket also having your own permissions. So own permissions. So object having own permissions, a bucket having own permissions. Something like if you enable the bucket to public, something like your S3 bucket to public means everyone can see that, right? So public. So if you are not enabling public in your object, so you will not to access, or you will not to download, or you will not to access to that object, because of objects also need to give the permission, something like a public. So both are public, then only we can access the objects. If something like objects are in the public mode, but the permissions of the S3 is private. So you cannot view the objects, because of the bucket permission is a private. Okay. So I acknowledge that the current settings might result in the bucket object within the object within the public within becoming a public. So bucket versioning. What is the concept I told you? Bucket versioning. So so currently something like temporarily I'm disabling the versioning concept. I will tell you. So create a bucket. Yes, bucket created. So you see, so my US class bucket, North Virginia region. So objects can be public. The access, what is the access? Objects can be public, but bucket, something like a storage, S3 cannot, S3 is not having a public access. So something like, so this is my bucket, object, properties, permissions, metric, management, and access point. These are the options in the bucket. What are the options? Objects, properties, permissions, metrics, management, and access point. What I'm saying, life cycle management. I already told you, right? I don't want to something like a, so Glacier is the cheapest one. What are the life cycle tools? I will show you. Metric, permissions, and properties, and objects. So object. So I want to upload a object. How we can upload it? Add a files. Something like untitled, staging, no, downloads. This is something like I'm copying a image. You see, the option is upload.
It went bad real quick. It went bad real quick. Shit went bad real quick.
You see, the status is in progress. So here you can see uploading, or else you can drag and drop also, it will work. So you guys separated the code to something like a main.tf, providers.tf, and portions.tf. Does anyone did? Guys, Misa, Steve, Misa, you there?
Yeah, what was the question again?
So did you separate something like, did you separated the main.tf and that versions.tf and variable something?
Yeah, I did like main.tf and variables.tf.
Okay.
I did two
Variables are
versions.
providers.
Sorry, providers on AWS.
Yes.
I can show you.
Yeah. So this is the object. If you open that object, something like object having a properties. So what is the size? What is the key file? S3 URI, Amazon ARN, something like entity tag. So the object URL. So if you click this, so it will show in the public, something like in the public, something like internet. What it is showing? Access denied because of the permissions. Because of the permissions. I will show you how we can enable the permission. Yes. In that object in the object permissions, access control list. So they have a so granted the permissions, you can see. So something like object owners, your AWS account, read, and object ACLs read and write. But everyone, so there is no permissions. How we can give the permissions? How we can grant the permissions? And the storage also. So storage also. Amazon offers a range of storage classes designed for a different use cases. Yeah, using Amazon S3 storage classes. A storage classes for frequently accessed object. So these are frequently accessed object or storage classes for automatically optimizing the data with changing or unknown access patterns. Storage classes for infrequently accessed objects. So these are the frequently accessed object, the infrequently accessed object, a storage class for archiving object, storage class for Amazon S3 outputs, storage classes.
Hey, Hari, I have to drop. I have some issue at the work, so I have to
Okay,
jump back to work.
no worries.
Harry, please, I have a question. I want to know, in real time, is there any kind of document or file that we need to upload in the S3 bucket? And other thing, in real time, as a DevOps engineer, at which moment we have to use the S3 bucket?
Yeah, so DevOps engineer. So
Yes.
what? So something like a DevOps engineer. For example, you are a DevOps engineer. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
something like you are working on the Terraform.
Okay.
You are working on the Terraform. So you are something like a R&D department. So what developers are asking? So we need a S3 bucket. We need to create a S3 bucket with the cloud formation. Okay. How you can do it? How you can do it? Something like a spin up. They are asking to spin up the S3 bucket and cloud formation. So cloud formation. Sorry, CDN content. content data management. So something like this guy. So something like you are a DevOps engineer. You have a Terraform. So how you can spin up a S3 bucket by using Terraform? So they are asking the permissions, everything. So definitely you need to spin up the S3 bucket by using Terraform, right?
Okay. Okay.
So DevOps guys not using the S3 bucket, but so developer is asking to create the S3 bucket. So you are the you are the DevOps guy. You know the Terraform. How you can spin up the S3 bucket? Definitely you know the concept of the S3, right? Then only you can understand how you can create the S3 bucket.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
understood?
Yes. And is there any specific kind of document that you have to store in the S3 bucket, or you can store everything you want?
Yeah, so something like you are asking the document.
Yes. Is there any kind of document or file you need to upload, like the source code? I don't know.
No. So we are not uploading source code into the S3 bucket. We are uploading the source code into the bucket, GitHub. So GitHub or
Yes.
Bitbucket or yeah. I will show you after this
Okay.
S3 and IAM. I will show you the Bitbucket. This is for only something like a developers are developing the code. Something like they will copy the logs, right? So something like a
Okay.
Facebook logs. So when you are accessing your Facebook, when you are logging Facebook, what are the actions you did on the Facebook application? So developers writing the application logs onto the machine. So where we need to copy that application logs?
In the S3 bucket?
S3 bucket. For example,
Okay.
banking transaction, something like it's a banking domain application, something like a Citibank, for example. So every transactions, so they are keeping somewhere, right? So where we need to
Okay.
keep it something like we need to keep it
Okay.
in the S3 bucket. For example,
Okay.
so you are using Citibank, you are frequently doing the transactions, but so after 2 years, you are not using the S3 Citibank, but you are using the Citibank, but you are not accessing the transaction, you are not doing the transactions frequently. So your data will goes to the another storage classes. Now you understand, right?
Understand. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So comparing the storage classes, this is the most important, guys. So comparing the Amazon S3 storage classes. What is the storage classes? So storage classes are so something like how you are accessing your data. So you are frequently accessing data. So that is comes to the IOPS, something like so the storage classes are S3 standard, S3 standard IA, S3 intelligent tiring. So S3 one zone IA, S3 glacier, S3 glacier flexible, a glacier, RRS not recommended. Okay, so glacier is the concept, and a standard IA is the concept, and standard is the concept. These concepts are using in the real time. Okay, so what are those? S3 standard, S3 standard IA, S3 so glacier. So what is that? Frequently accessing the data more than once a month with millisecond access. With milliseconds access. The cost will be high in the standard. The cost will be some extent high in the S3 standard. So the cost is very cheap in the S3 glacier. S3 a glacier. So here you are seeing something like a standard long-lived frequently accessed data. Frequently long-lived and frequently accessed data. Something like 30 days. Minimum storage duration is 30 days. So minimum min billable object size is 128 KB. So per GB retrieval free apply. Fees is apply for per GB. So monitoring and automation purpose they are using per GB retrieval fee apply, not relevant, and the loss of availability zones. So these are the types of storages. Now you got it right, guys. So Glacier is the cheapest, and standard, standard IA and standard IA and standard. So these are the storage classes. Now you got it right, guys. Yeah. So storage classes. Server side encryption. If you want to encrypt, can you encrypt that? Additional checksums. So tags, metadata. So these are the something like permissions. These are the configurations in the objects, files and folders. So where is your object stored? In the files and folders. So properties. So my class, this is the S3 bucket properties. So bucket versioning I disabled, tags disabled, default encryption disabled. So intelligent tiring archive configuration I disabled, server access logging disabled, AWS cloud trade data events disabled, event notifications disabled, Amazon event bits, transfer acceleration, object lock, requesters page and static website. So this is the static website. So static website will be enabled a host a static website or redirect request for an object. Host a static website. For example, index.html. So something like what you are trying this HTML. This is your site. So this is my first website. Save the changes. Unknown error, an unexpected error. specify the home or default page for the website. Index.html. So redirection rules. Using image for your customers access content of the website endpoint, you must make all your content are publicly readable. So do you some edit can S3 bucket public access settings and bucket? Yeah, I will do it. Expected params, website configuration, routing rules, and array. First, you need to give the permissions to the access. Something like a block public access, block all public access. I want to. So block public access. Cross account public access. Save changes. Confirm. Block public access settings. Objects can be public. So here bucket policy. Cancel. Object ownership. Enabled. Objects. So disabled. Permissions. Yeah, here access control list. Object ownership public, right? It ownership is enabled. Acknowledge the UCLs, restore. Bucket owner prefer. Object writer. Bucket owner. So if new objects are turned into this bucket, since we are the bucket owner, will control access. They are owned by the bucket owner. Object writer remains object owner. So changes. Acknowledge. Save changes. No, you can edit. Yes. So bucket owner, everyone, there is no access right here. So we need to give everyone a list, read, list and read. Understand the settings. You see, so the bucket is publicly accessible. So publicly accessible. So AWS does not recommend the granting access to everyone granted. So because of, so everyone cannot access this, right? Metrics. We don't want management. No access points, no objects. So now I'm trying to access denied where it is denied. You can see bucket properties, storage classes, server side automation, tags, metadata, enabling permissions. So everyone here we need to edit. Everyone read. I acknowledge this. Grant the permissions. You see? You guys able to see? Guys?
I don't see anything. I see a beautiful jewelry or whatever that.
What he has uploaded.
Oh. Oh, that's the image she's uploading. Okay.
This is not a images, this is a video uploaded.
No, it's a video.
You see it, right? The same way. So shit. So the same way you can copy anything, objects or something like a files or folders, whatever it may be. Now you got it right, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what was the task? What is the task is, right? You can create
Yes.
the S3 bucket through Terraform. Okay, guys. You see the access is public.
Okay.
Okay. So something like I will show you versioning the same object will be. So something like permissions, edit permissions, versioning enabled, save the changes. So I'm uploading the same. So here you see something like buckets. So my buckets. So something like here there is no version, shows the versions. Yeah, I will upload the same file. You can see. Yeah. Where is that? Yeah. Upload. So uploading because of a versioning concept is enabled. The same file, the same video will be uploading because of the versioning concept is enabled. So that's the reason. The ID will be different, but the object will be the same, but the ID will be different.
So in this case, how is that useful? It's just using up space if it's the same.
What I am saying something like, yeah. So what I am saying is the file name is same, but the different content is the different. That the time. So the content is different. So that's the team. So what versioning concept is, the file name is same, but the content is different. But the content is different. That time it is the usable. Okay. Why this much time?
Okay. Plus 3.
Yeah. So the task is, guys, Ahmad, Steve, Mahel Mavi, the concept, upload file, view the details below. Network error, I think, or network lost. Power con. Guys, you there? Hello? Guys, you there? Guys, you there? Hello?
Yes, please. We're here.
Yeah. You guys understand, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the access this is the S3 bucket. You guys can do the can launch that S3 bucket through Terraform. Okay. The task.
Yeah.
Ahmad.
Okay.
Okay, guys. So we'll continue on tomorrow.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Ari.
Yeah.